All right, welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. I'm your host, Cardinellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everyone.
And today we're going to, did you just cut off my mic?
Maybe.
Today we're going to talk about Andrew Yang and how the DNC is not trying to Bernie Sanders him. And, did my screen just go off behind me? Oh, you know what? Here, I got to cut to Cody. Cody the Oracle, tell us what's going on. We're having technical difficulties.
All right, yeah. Well, I mean, in all seriousness, basically what's happening is Andrew Yang is accusing at least the NBC people who hosted the debate last night of cutting his mic off at certain points during the debate. NBC recently has responded, and their response has been, throw it on screen here for you guys. At no point during the debate was any candidate's microphone turned off or muted.
I call BS.
Well, more importantly, NBC basically just called Andrew Yang a liar because this is what Andrew Yang, I'm serious. Here, I'm going to throw it up right now. This is what Andrew Yang had to say to a bunch of supporters last night after the debate.
And there were also a few times, FYI, where I just started talking, being like, hey, I'd like to add something there, and my mic was, not on. It's the sort of thing where it's not like if you just start talking, it all of a sudden, takes over the convo. It's like I was talking, and, nothing was happening, and it was like, oh, fuck.
So, that's what Andrew Yang had to say last night at at an after party with of some supporters. And then this is kind of the other thing that was brought up that also, it doesn't look like he was lying, like he's being accused of. Here, let me get this just squared in the window for us, guys. And I just want to put a video up really quick. Also, this is basically what he's accused them of doing.
For the fraud that he is.
I agree with both their perspectives.
So, you could just see Andrew Yang clearly trying to talk and not, as his mic was not, either his mic wasn't on or no words came out. I guess literally that is possible, but it looked very suspicious, especially because he accused them of exactly that.
Well, the only thing that also bothers me about this whole thing is NBC obviously was having large technical difficulties multiple times.
Oh, both nights, yeah.
Yeah, they had on the first night of debates, they had to cut to an extra commercial break, completely admitting on camera that we're listening to somebody's off mic somewhere. We can't stop it. Will the control room,
that was bad. That was embarrassing, right?
Yeah, not only was it mondo embarrassing for NBC, but I'm not somebody who likes using the L-bomb very often. I don't assault somebody's motives, and my wife hates it, but I'm constantly trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. I would be more than willing to give NBC the benefit of the doubt that in a night of many microphone errors, there was a microphone error on Andrew Yang's microphone, because anybody that has done audio for large theater productions or large debates knows that when you have 15 microphones on stage at any given time, you have to be wrestling with which one has which gain and which one has which audio pickup, or else you're going to have two lovers singing at each other, getting picked up on each other's microphone, creating
but the
feedback.
Thing is, though, if you watched the debate last night, no one seemed to have any mic problems at any point during those debates.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a constant stream of yelling over each other.
And that's why I'm saying NBC lost me on this one, because at best, I think they had an out saying, okay, there was probably a mic problem, at which point it would just look suspicious that it was only Andrew Yang's
especially
microphone.
Coming from NBC.
Yeah, but when you come after Andrew Yang and say, you're a liar, I'm sorry, we have the internet now. We can look at the live feed and see that he was, unless he was lip syncing. And
again, like I said, maybe no words came out when he tried to speak. It's literally possible, but very unlikely.
Okay, but then we get down to this argument. Who do we trust more? And the truth is, there is a reason why the American population has trust ratings of 13 or 14% now. There's a reason why we trust the media less than we trust Congress, less than we trust major other commercial institutions, okay? And it's because year after year they've screwed us. All of the Bernie supporters cannot look at the DNC's collaboration in the Podesta emails. We saw that they were giving Hillary Clinton's questions out to CNN before the CNN debates, and they were colluding with...
Her staff had control or at least access to the funds of the party. It was some pretty blatant stuff.
And so, right on the heels of having completely, in a 100% corrupt fashion, ousted Bernie Sanders from in multiple ways, The DNC, if it wants to save face, has to come back with a spotless debate. And not only was it technically spotted, but now it was morally spotted. Because I got to tell you, I'm not a Democrat. I don't vote Democrat very often at all. But I totally trust the Democrat, Andrew Yang, and what he says happened more than I trust NBC at this point because of the games that I've seen NBC play when they cover stuff.
Well, and then, I mean, like, it is important to bring up that this happened with NBC. Now, this next video I'm going to show was supposed to by Scott Stantons. He's a big Andrew Yang guy, UBI guy.
Yeah.
However, it's a pretty almost kind of ironic and funny video. I'm just going to roll it and let you listen to what happens.
A lot of attention is going to be on that Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden dynamic. And then, of course, those other candidates, folks, you look again, who else is on that stage?
Who's
with
on the stage?
Former vice president with Bernie Sanders? Andrew Yang, Kristen, my screen just went out.
Oh, oops. And this is documented as well. We can go back and I can show you 4 or 5. We brought it up in our last video about this. Multiple times NBC or MSNBC, their news branch, basically went out of their way to omit Andrew Yang from graphics that would be used to promote the debates. Who's going to be speaking? I believe there was one time where they replaced them with someone who wasn't even going to be present at the debate, who didn't have enough support. So it is weird that NBC seems to be sliding him at really every possible opportunity, and then he comes out and says his microphone was cut, and they come out, not even 24 hours later, and this is a pretty, whether they're lying or not, it's a pretty direct statement. At no point during the debate was any candidate's microphone turned off or muted, which, it's a pretty blanket direct, never happened to anyone ever. So
okay, then how do you just, so they're basically just saying that Andrew Yang on a hot mic?
Yeah, I don't know.
That he literally just started.
That or he's lying.
Oh, okay.
That or he's lying. If there is
what is
angle out there,
the
please
Roman
let us
phrase?
know, but I don't see one.
What's the Roman judge's phrase you always bring up? Like, to who does it benefit?
I forgot the Latin. Yeah, but to whose benefit? Like, why? Why would they do this?
There was a very famous Roman judge who would always ask whenever there was a controversy in the courtroom, to whose benefit? And honestly, we all act out of self-interest first. To what benefit? To whose benefit is it if Andrew Yang is silenced? Andrew Yang knows he's got to make some attention on the debate stage. So I really doubt that Andrew Yang was trying to pull a fast one on NBC and make them look bad.
Well, and then right here, according to CNN, here is the amount of time they had to talk. Just really quickly. Joe Biden, 13 minutes. Kamala Harris, 12 minutes. Bernie Sanders, 10 minutes. Pete Buttigieg, 10. And then all the way at the bottom, Andrew Yang, 2 minutes, 56 seconds. So there is... if he wants to make a case there was problems with his mic, the fact that he spoke considerably less than basically everyone else, I would say also goes with the video evidence we have. It doesn't look like he's lying.
Anybody that thinks, and I said this before, but I said this on the video about the media, but anybody that thinks when you're dealing with the modern mainstream media nowadays, anybody that thinks you're dealing with anybody or anything other than a propaganda arm for the Democrat National Committee is fooling themselves. The Democrats fear the crap out of Andrew Yang because he's not their crony, but they know his message resonates. That's why they fear him. And they will do every shady, underhanded trick in the book to get him out of here. And it elicits an emotional response from me. Because, for example, I totally agree with, I can't remember who said it. It's a very famous quote, though, where he said, I don't believe what that certain party in World War II believes. You know what I'm saying? We can't say that because of the Google algorithms now. But, I don't believe what you believe, but I will fight to the death your First Amendment rights to say it, okay? I don't believe in socialism, okay? But I will fight to the death in 2016 for the right of Bernie Sanders to get on the debate stage and articulate his beliefs in an open forum of liberal discussion, okay? That's what the First Amendment is about. And you see on the show that we got a batting average with Andrew Yang, and he's not batting 1,000 with us, all right? We agree with some things, disagree with others, but we love covering all of his policy proposals. But at the end of the day, we will fight to the death for his free speech and his ability to debate in a liberal and open forum. And the DNC and NBC appear to be compromising this. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay? But after seeing what happened to Bernie Sanders, you need to be running such a tight ship that you look unimpeachable. Unimpeachable, or else people are going to think, oh, they're doing to Andrew Yang exactly what they did to Bernie Sanders. Here's the populist figure instead of the mainstream crony figure in the party, and they're going to railroad the populist so that Hillary Clinton can be the nominee. They're going to railroad Andrew Yang, the populist, so that Joe Biden can be the nominee. And by any measurable statistic, by any measurable quantifier, it looks like they're trying to fast track Kamala and Biden. Whether it's time given, questions given, mic on, mic off, screen on, screen off, it looks like a railroad to me, man.
Well, I would say, though, when you really think about it, if there was some big grand plan here to make someone look good, having all your front runners go on stage, Elizabeth Warren sort of, but that's most of the front runners for the Democratic primary, this season right now, right? And they all go on stage the same night, yell over each other, and just basically personally attack each other for a couple hours. Like, who looks good? I guess that Kamala Harris won the debate, but does she really look good at the end of all of this? The same criticisms of Kamala Harris everyone's had that I've heard consistently remain, that when she was working in the state of California, who was the Attorney General, she was locking people up left and right. People believed unfairly at times. No one...
For truancy. She started going after parents for their kids, skipping out of class.
No one's takeaway from this debate was, you know what, maybe I was wrong about that. It's, she slammed Biden. But that's what I'm trying to say is, who actually came out of this debate looking good as in, oh, wow, look at what they're talking about, and not just they slammed them harder than he did. Like, what? That doesn't even help. I don't understand how this benefits that party moving forward if it is rigged. Because everyone looks bad coming out of this. Like, everyone.
No, to whose benefit? No, I'll tell you exactly to whose benefit. To Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's benefit, because they were allowed to speak more and look like the strong people in the room.
But they also at times attack each other and give reasons why. They both gave valid criticisms of the other person.
Yeah, but
that's not good for either of them.
At the end of the day, bad press is good press. Press is press. Attention is attention. We live in such an immature society that that's the way it goes. And I have to tell you, if I were a corrupt NBC exec, okay, if I were trying to rig the system, I would never want to rig it, obviously. I would never want to slash Andrew Yang's tires so he couldn't show up to the debate.
They're working backwards. This is bad. These debates made the Democratic Party look worse than they did going in.
Do corrupt people shoot themselves in the foot all the time? All I'm trying to say is I do not trust the DNC, and I do not trust the mainstream broadcast media. And that hurts me to say as an ex-NBC Universal employee. I had my NBC Uni email, okay? And I love Universal as a company, but the mainstream media over the past decade has just become the propaganda arm of the not centrist or moderate, but the most powerful people
like
of the Democrat, the corporatists. That's a perfect word for corporate Democrat Party. That's all you're looking at. The corporate media is a crony of the corporate Democrat Party, and they are protecting their interests and their cronies. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, well, one thing I think is kind of ironic about this, the first article, I don't know if it was the first one actually posted, but the first one I saw circulating about this last night came from Fox News. I believe I saw a columnist from the National Review, which is not a liberal-leaning website as far as I know, saying that if this is true and they did censor the microphone of one of their candidates, this is a big deal. So,
yeah.
And then also just to go back to what happened the night before, Tulsi Gabbard, I think her sister was tweeting on her account, but she said it's clear who the MSNBC wants to be president, Elizabeth Warren. They're giving her more time than all the other candidates combined.
Yeah.
And they aren't giving any time to Tulsi at all. Her sister said that. But I believe it was something like she had 3 direct questions in like 5 minutes. Like, they just came heavy at her. So,
well, and then also her first question was basically, are you done being anti-gay?
Oh, well, yeah. When it came to Tulsi, yeah. Like,
yeah.
Well, also the fact that
I get tired of that crap.
Well, something else I want to bring up. People have brought this up, and I don't like the idea of just slandering everyone as being racist because you could make that logical conclusion somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit ironic that Andrew Yang gets 2 questions. One of them is, "What do we do about China?" It's like, "What? My cousin lives there." Like, what do you mean? What do you like? What is it like? Why are you asking me that and no one else? Like, so that was a little bit ironic. That
Democrats are so diverse that up on that debate stage, you know, they're getting rid of the patriarchy by having the 70-plus-year-old white man arguing with the 70-plus-year-old white man arguing with the 65, 62, and 67-year-old white men. Oh, good thing they threw in Kristen Gillibrand and Kamala Harris You know?
But like I said, it was just funny. They give the guy 2 questions, and he's obviously the only Asian candidate, or the only Chinese candidate. I believe he's, or is he Chinese, or I believe he's from somewhere in that part of Asia. Anyway, he's the only one on the stage, and they ask him, what do we do about China? So
this is
I
why
will say,
so
though,
many liberals.
But one thing I want to do, I want to just really quickly, before we run out of time, I want to throw stuff with you. I don't have time to ask you this yet. I didn't like how he did just kind of forfeit. He just jumped in and started talking about Russia collusion stuff that normally isn't anything he really. It was just weird because it
was weird.
He has the stuff he talks about, and then he really believes it, and he just kind of jumps in with that. I was like, well, that's. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to talk about like the other stuff you kind of have. Like, we've gone through maybe 30, 40. It was 100 proposals.
Also, he seemed to play
a
little bit. He seemed to play a little bit more by the rules, while all the other politicians that were seasoned at this debate game knew that if you're asked to do something in 1 sentence, you can say it in 5. He seemed to want to conform to these rules, which, though it might make the moderator's job easier, it doesn't score you any points or get you more airtime. So I think that was. I think all in all, his performance was B. Wasn't an A performance, but it wasn't a C performance. And for a first-time debater, because that really was his first national political debate.
Well, also, jury's out. If his mic was cut, it's kind of hard to grade. He couldn't speak up.
So true, because who knows? Sometimes people's best moments aren't the pre-rehearsed moments, the moments where they say, oh, hold on a second, I disagree with you because of boom. And then that becomes the best soundbite of the night. So, yeah, actually that's better to say. I don't feel comfortable judging and giving a grade to Andrew Yang's performance, knowing that he was potentially compromised by a silenced microphone.
Because, I mean, like, I'm going to show this graphic on the screen, and it goes through how long each candidate spoke, and it's a graph. Those are always easier to see, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Yang spoke considerably less than Eric Swalwell.
Oh, yeah.
People were critical of the time Marianne Williamson got to speak. It was more than Andrew Yang by almost 2 minutes, by literally 2 minutes. I mean, you look through this, and I would have to say, if the claim of NBC is no one's mics were cut, he's either lying or misguided in some way. And Andrew Yang says, my microphone was cut off, and I look, and he just clearly spoke. I mean, I can get maybe he didn't want to jump in as much. Maybe his plan was, I'm going to try to appear as the person who's above the bickering. Yeah. But I don't think to the point where we're just going to just say nothing for 2 hours. Like, it's a little bit just with the evidence we have right now, which is that video clip that we showed earlier, which is really bizarre, where his mouth is clearly moving. You can clearly hear something, and then it's just gone. You don't hear anything else again. And also, NBC's only evidence for them is we didn't do. That's it. They just said, well, it didn't happen.
It's too odd of an accusation for me to believe that he just thought, oh, what can I say? What can I say? Oh, my mic was silenced.
Yeah, why just make that up?
You don't make that up. I'm sorry.
Like, honestly, I think he knows he would have gone way farther if the truth was, you know what, guys, I honestly didn't want to jump in and be one of these people yelling over each other, but maybe that's what's going to take the one that's like if he just came to his base and said, hey, look, it didn't go perfect, but I had a plan, I stuck to it, but we're going to do something else moving forward. I think he knows that plays better than they rigged it against me. He hasn't really been he's been no one's believed in me, but not they're rigging it against me. But now I believe he had a tweet today where he said, thank God my last name's Yang instead of Chen, implying that if he didn't have the Yang gang behind him, that they would have been able to already railroad him out of here. They would have been already removed him from the election. So
this to me is optically bad at best, corrupt at worst for both the DNC and NBC. And we want to hear what you guys think. Please like this video. The interaction helps with the algorithms. Share it. Now you got to share these videos with your friends, or else, they'll try and just derank and so on and so forth any of these political videos. And also keep the conversation going down below. We try and answer as many comments as we can before our next video. We want to know what you guys think. Do you think Andrew Yang was silenced? Do you have any evidence that proves otherwise? We'd love to hear what you say. This is Problem Solver Politics.
And one last thing, please follow us on Twitter. Links in the description. It's at PSP Radio 1. Just better updates on the videos. We can stay up to date with you guys. We can't always get together to film videos right away, so we can give you guys some updates on what's going on in between then.
PSP Radio 1 on Twitter. See you guys next time.